Welcome to An Aries and Pisces Walk Into a Coffee Shop, the podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Bridget, she, her.
And I'm Tiffany, she, her. This is a podcast where two friends let go of perfectionism and talk unedited. You can find us at the links in our show notes.
Support the show by buying us a coffee. Also, subscribe and share this episode with a friend. Hi.
Hello, hi. So can I tell you more about the Kuan Yin card? Now that we're
please. Here. Yeah.
So the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle deck, Be Led by the Path Before You. It's so beautiful. Like, it does make me feel good. There's rose petals and all this beautiful movement. She looks relaxed. Like, it looks like safe to fall type of vibes.
Yeah.
But when I read in the book, it was just like two steps away from that thing that I know and I hate, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Because in here it was talking about that our path can be hidden under the ordinary day-to-day hard work, and it could be not quite feeling like you are there yet moments, but that's the spiritual muscle building of faith, courage, trust, determination, commitment, patience, and serenity.
That's exactly like I'm over here being like at the beginning of the week, journaling out like what do I need to put my focus in this week? And it's all about fucking like self-belief and self-trust.
Mm-hmm.
And but I guess like looking at it under this lens of that card, that message, that's a beautiful cup.
It's from Christy.
Oh, that's nice. That's very nice.
Thank you. I also think so. It's the most beautiful blue I've ever seen.
It is. Indeed it is. So like looking at it under that message feels like, I guess maybe like hopeful for the times when I feel like I'm in what I'm in, where I feel stuck and I feel like I'm not moving. I feel like nothing's happening. I'm just like looking around like, okay, like when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? And I guess if I then were to think of it that way, of this is self-belief and self-trust practice,
You're doing it. Yeah.
maybe that'll help, because I have been thinking of it as like in my therapist's voice of that you're never stuck. There are always things changing and moving. You're always putting in some kind of action step every day towards whatever it is, even if it's just like a tiny little thing. And I keep like holding on to that, but that just still doesn't feel like it's like getting me through.
I agree. And as you were saying that, this image popped in my head because I'm wondering if it's our younger selves feeling that frustration because I know you and I worked really hard our whole lives. And when we were younger and didn't have the correct resources or tools, supports, or understanding, we were doing so much hard day-to-day stuff. And the image I have is us like kind of like in this like pit with like sandy sides. So it didn't matter how many steps or how much we were scrabbling. It was just like the ground kept on like sifting down underneath us. And instead of us feeling like we were getting closer to the top, it just felt like it was sinking further and further down the harder we scrabbled. And so I'm wondering if, because we're doing ordinary day-to-day stuff now, it's that young part that's like, this is just going to lead us to a deeper hole. We're never going to get anywhere. But we have the tools, the resources, the supports, the understanding, and it is getting us somewhere. We just haven't built that trust yet to see it. Yeah.
I think this is it. I think that this feels like we've unlocked something.
Yeah, because as I was reading this, this is what I really liked, this section, when it says, When these spiritual muscles grow strong enough, the physical world responds to their exertion by taking shape and responding to that inner power. Then there is a
Ooh,
feeling that our soul's coming to life in the world, manifesting our heart's desires before our eyes, confirming that our faith and patience have been expressions of wisdom.
yes.
And I don't like that because I want relief now.
Now.
But it says that this card is literally a reminder that you are on the correct path. Your greater purpose is calling you forward. Don't fall into the trap of imagining there's some other way to get where you want, that
Mm,
there's some error you made because your life doesn't
uh-huh,
look or feel exactly how you imagined. And
uh-huh.
I'm just like, yeah, 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 yeah. That sounds right.
Yeah.
And then it says, don't complicate things, which I fucking love doing.
Ooh.
Because my thought is, I can never just do day to day stuff. I have to suffer and flagellate
Mhm,
and cry about it.
mhm.
And this said, don't do that. It says, don't make things more complicated than they need to be. Don't rush in out of fear or panic to sort an issue. Be patient, allow it to unfold. Blah,
Aw,
blah, 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 blah.
this deck is so good.
I know. Isn't she beautiful? I love Kuan Yin.
Yeah.
She's just the best.
Can you hold her over a little bit
This
more?
way.
Yeah, yeah, but now a little bit more the other way. Yeah, perfect.
Be led by
Yeah,
the path before you.
I think this oh fuck, I think this makes so much sense, and I do think that this is like extra little data pieces or puzzle pieces or whatever um that is it's just like reinforcing the um mm, I don't know if I want to call it like manifestation or like belief in that like I know it has to do with my beliefs.
Yeah.
Like I know that like, what's happening is all because that's what I'm believing about myself or about the world. And that's what I just keep seeing more of because that's
Mm-hmm.
what I'm like tuned into. I'm like, I know this. I know that. And I still feel, in the stuck of it all. But I'm anyway, all that to say, I'm glad that you read me this card because I really needed it right now. And I think I needed the reinforcing of that. Um, yes, I keep like trying to work on my like self-belief and self-trust, and I'm doing a good job. Like literally this week, what I chose my focus is I'm doing the best that I can and in this moment, and that's enough. Like I'm doing
I
enough. Like
really struggle with the, and that's enough.
yeah.
Yes, I've been confronting that a lot because my anxiety has been higher. Um, I'm in that liminal space where everything has a lot of potential and it's very exciting because, like, it feels like there can be so much. I know so much magic is happening right now. And I don't know if I can do it. And it's scary.
Aw, yeah. Yeah.
Like every potentiality, I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if? And then I was like, yeah, but like, can you do it? Can you sustain it? Are you able to dedicate? Can you afford it? Can you blah, 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 blah? Like the list
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah.
And my anxiety has now glommed onto I'm never doing enough and I'm not enough. So
Mhm.
I'm constantly asking for reassurance and then just standing there being like, what should I be doing? I need to be doing something. And then luckily I have people around me that are going, enjoy yourself, go lay down, read a book.
Uh-huh.
And my brain says, but I must work. I must toil. I must suffer. Right? Isn't that how we do things here? And it's weird to confront a new way of doing things and figure out how to make that sustainable.
Mhm. I have to send you this. It's a very quick, like 2-minute meditation on insight timer that somebody sent me the other day that is absolutely brilliant. I just started following this guy, because that's how good it is, and I forget what the title is, but it's about, like, do nothing,
Okay.
and he's just brilliant. The way he talks and, like, the way he is presenting this, and it's just, like, taking a moment to, like, literally do nothing.
Okay.
Uh-huh,
Okay. Yeah, send it
uh-huh.
to me
It's
and
good
I will report
practice.
back because,
Uh-huh.
oh, do I struggle with that. I always have to justify doing nothing with doing something. Like,
I yeah, I think that I've probably mentioned this, I have this one guided imagery, audio that I listen to often that is part of an audiobook,
mhm.
um, with Martin Rossman, is that his name? And, Dr. Andrew Weil. I
Oh, this
forget the
is
title
starting
of
to sound familiar.
the book. It's something about, like, healing the mind and the body, and
Mhm.
there are, like, 3 guided imageries included in it, and I listened to the second one is my absolute favorite. I listen to it all the time. That's actually what I've been listening to every morning.
Mm.
Now when I've been doing my, like, morning naps, I usually fall asleep through it. Um, but there's one part in it that's what he says is, like, to give yourself the, I think somewhere in there he says permission, but there's something else. There's a way that he phrases it, about, like, doing nothing
Mhm.
and having that be good for you,
Mm.
like, and, kind of, like, accepting that, like, you're doing nothing, and in doing nothing, you're actually doing something
Mm. I love a
because
paradox practice.
you're, like, allowing yourself to relax and tune into your body, and that's, like, healing your body, right? Like, and, so by literally doing nothing, you're doing something, and yeah.
Okay, that's going to reframe something I've been having a lot of shame about because I've been getting tapped out to the point where I've been self-deprecating, calling it my ceiling time, where I just have to lay down and stare at the ceiling in complete silence.
Mm,
And that's new
mhm.
for me because I normally always have some kind of music or something going on, but my body has been so sensitive to the point where there's a point where I'm just like, yeah, no, it's ceiling time. And I just lay and look at the ceiling. And sometimes I fall asleep and sometimes I don't. And the best times are when Ingrid comes and lays on top of me. That's my favorite, but she doesn't always. And I have to be okay with that, where I'm just like, yeah, this is what's happening. And when I think about anyone ever perceiving that part of my day, my whole skin want to fall off.
Wow. Can I tell you something?
Mhm.
Um, that's not like a weird isolated thing that you do?
I like logically know that,
Okay.
but
I
like
also do that. Like,
emotionally,
I
hi
yeah, okay.
Ingrid. Yeah, she's like, here, I heard we were talking about me. You're a very good familiar. Come on in. So you do ceiling time too, where you have to just look at the
Yeah, I
ceiling?
never I
Come on.
never thought of it as ceiling time, and, um
Here.
but yeah, I've been doing it, like, more recently too, and sometimes, yes, 0 comes up and he'll lay on me on the couch, and I just kind of think of it as rest time on the couch with 0. That's what I write it in
Mm.
my habit tracker
Oh,
as, like,
sweet.
my, like, self-care. I
Yeah.
just did it yesterday, and I think that because I have the practice of, um, trying to be with my cats when they're with me and to, like, not look at my phone, not do anything
Mm-hmm.
else. So then when that happens, I think it's actually good for me because maybe I would have reached for my phone to try to, like, numb out, but instead I'm like, "Oh, there's a cat here. Let me instead just be in this moment doing nothing."
You're a wise teacher, feline. Mwah.
Um, yeah, and I've definitely gone through periods where I have gone just, like, full silence, like no media. Like I'm not listening to music ever. I'm not listening to any podcasts. I'm just it's just silence because I just feel like I absolutely can't handle anything, even
Mhm.
like binaural beats.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like absolutely nothing
Yep.
because it just feels like I'm so far gone. Like I just can't. Look at that sweet angel.
She's just purring. So cozy. Thank you for giving an example of what we were talking about. I love when you do this. You're
They're
the
so good
best.
at doing nothing.
Sometimes I leave the house for hours, hours on end, and I come home and she's in the exact spot, exact
Uh-huh.
position I left her in.
Yeah.
Glorious.
That's like Chloe sleeping in her fort from 9 to 5.
It's her job.
Yeah.
Okay, see you later. Thank you
But
for the hug.
actually, did I ever tell you that sometimes I'll think like, oh, she's been in there all day. Or like I'll leave her, I'll come upstairs to get ready, and then I'll come downstairs, or I'll come back at like some other point in the day and I look and her black thing will be right
She
outside
tricked
the
you.
opening of the fort. Yeah, so she literally gets out of the fort, goes to get her black thing, which is like her little security blanket.
Yeah.
She goes to get it and brings it over to her bed and goes back in.
That is so cute. It's the cutest thing.
She doesn't like she'll drop it like right there on the floor.
Yeah, she just needs it
And
nearby.
yeah, but one time I think she tried to take it in there with her because it was like hanging out the like
But it
opening
was
of
too
the
big for her to like
blanket.
maneuver it in.
I don't know, or she would just decide. I don't know. Anyway, it's the stupid,
I
cutest,
just flashed back to that
sweetest thing.
video that you caught of her moving the black thing, and that was such a magical moment. Because we've been
Mhm.
talking about it for years at that point, and I had never seen her move the black thing.
Really, nobody has. She does it only in secret. Only sometimes have we ever seen it. Like Luke says sometimes it'll happen at night when he's down there
Hmm.
and he's like, I just sit like as still as a statue and I don't move to pretend like I can't see her.
Yeah,
So she'll like keep going.
that is so cute. Night prowlings. How fun. What a good cat.
Yeah, it's the best when it's freshly washed.
Mm.
Because then she has to like re-up it. So she'll carry it around more. And she makes a sound, like this very specific meowing sound that she does only when she's carrying around her black thing. And I think it's hilarious that we call it her black thing. Like
Like all these
it's just a
years.
little it's just a little round black like thing that came in her carrier. Um, but it's her black thing. So
Yeah, because it's not exactly a pillow. It's not exactly
no,
a
it's not a
toy. It's
blanket.
not a
Yeah,
blanket. It's the black thing.
it's a black thing. But yeah, she carries it around and does this thing, and Luke will imitate it, and
Oh,
it's
cute. Okay, I haven't heard the
so
imitation.
you gotta hear it. It's so good.
I have to find the I have to find a toy that is similar to the trash that Ingrid adopted years ago. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you do a spit take.
Okay, I got it. I'm good.
Once upon a time, when I was cohabitating with someone, they had those like gel inserts for their shoes, and you
Uh-huh.
have to trim them for them to fit into the
Uh-huh.
shoe. So they
Uh-huh.
like trimmed the top toe part of the
Yeah.
gel insert, and Ingrid decided that was her baby. And I called it da fishy because it kind of wiggled like it maybe a fish would out of water because it was just like a almost crescent moon
Uh-huh.
shaped piece of gel trash from this foot insert. And she would carry it around and make this sound. The only time she ever makes this sound is when she's carrying that trash. And it was like
Mhm.
really low and in the back of her throat and almost a yowl, but sweet. And I think
Uh-huh.
it was her
I
just
think that's a similar yeah.
okay. And she would just carry it around and make that sound and deposit into shoes. And then she would fish it out of the shoe and then she would throw it in the air and she would run away, come back, stomp it, and then like ignore it for a minute. And then she would go back to carrying it around and yowling. And she used to bring
Oh.
it to me in bed. Like I would wake up to her yowling and she would trot in with it in her mouth and she would just drop it in the bed because she wanted me to like throw it so she could like go stomp it.
Wow.
But eventually, like one, I didn't she was carrying it around in her mouth and she was like puncturing it and I was afraid she was going to swallow some of it and it was trash. And then
Yeah.
like because it was gel, like it kept on attracting everything it touched. So I was like,
Uh-huh.
and then she kept losing them under things and I was like, look, we can't keep on having trash and I can't buy you gel inserts. Like this is just ridiculous. So she hasn't had one in a long time because I no longer cohabitate with anyone and I don't use those. But I'm like, I had to
You're like, I'm not gonna buy you gel inserts. But the whole time in my head, I'm like, girl, go to the store and get that
But
cat
what
some
if
new
she
inserts.
swallows it? What do I
I know.
do?
I
Do I
know.
sew covers for them? I don't know if she'll like it as much. I guess maybe it would still be the same material. I don't know what to do. I think I need to go
I
shopping and find some because they have to make something floppy like that for cats, right? She loved it so
uh
much. She can't be the only cat that likes a floppy toy.
yeah.
Sorry, Ingrid.
Oh,
I didn't mean to take away
oh,
your fishies. I was just afraid
that's
of you poisoning yourself or
that's
choking.
so funny. Yeah, no, I get it, and I worry about Lovey with his tiny bee toys,
Mm,
which are they're small. I mean, they start out bigger and fluffier, but they lose
yeah,
hair
over time.
as yeah. But they're meant to be on a wand toy, which is fine at that point. We play with them, we put them away. Um, but that's his favorite toy in the
Yeah.
world is his bee. So I just let him have it, and then I guess like when it gets too small, then I'll toss it. But I do wonder and I worry like, oh, is he gonna choke on this? But also, I mean, he's been playing with them for years and years and years,
And
and
hasn't
they're
had any
his
issues.
absolute favorite toy.
Okay, fine. I'll go
So
buy her gel
I don't
inserts.
know. I don't that is so funny to me. Like, oh, you're going to buy like insoles for your shoes. No, I'm going to buy them for my cat.
She loves them so much. And she hasn't made a yowling sound like that about any other thing other than those stupid gel inserts. She used to play with not rubber bands, but like the thicker cloth ponytail holders. She
Uh-huh.
used to like those, but she doesn't really mess with them as much anymore. Like she used to carry those around. She wouldn't make the sound, but she would deposit them in shoes. But she hasn't done that in a while either. I wonder if it's just maturity. Like she's like a little old lady now.
Yeah, I don't know. Our cats definitely have had toys that were like, this toy is the shit, and now they can't care about it at all.
Okay,
Like
so
we'll get them a
phases.
new pack. Yeah, we'll get them a new pack, and they're like, I don't care about these things.
Wouldn't that be so funny if I went and got her fucking gel insoles and she didn't give a
She
shit?
doesn't give a shit. She's like, what is this garbage?
Yeah, she's like, I don't play with trash anymore. Okay.
I love how you call it trash.
Well, I one of her often murmured nicknames is Trash Cat because she does like I could try to get her to play with any toy. She cannot be bothered. But as soon as there's trash on the ground, she loses her mind. So like if something like a plastic ring from something falls,
Yeah,
loses her mind. Paper from like packing boxes, like if I get a package,
that's the
she
best.
loves that so much. Um Anything she's not supposed to mess with, the best. Trash. Just trash cat. And then I get her the cutest, most beautiful, witchy feline toys, and she's just like,
Mhm.
I don't know. It just
Yeah.
doesn't have the same appeal as that piece of trash. So trash cat.
I think it's so funny that you call some of that stuff trash because, like, we also do that, but I don't call it trash. Like, I've never
Oh.
thought of it as trash. Like, when I get my protein powder, like, on
Mhm.
subscription, and, the box that it comes in always comes with paper, and, so that's they get new paper every month. That's the best.
Oh,
And so we call Lovey a little paper boy. He
that's so
loves the paper. He just likes to lay on it,
cute. Yeah.
and then it's fun to put toys under it and play. So they love paper, and they love getting in a box. But I've never once thought of it as trash.
Oh, that's funny. It started because of like the plastic, because
Mm,
the sanitary plastic crinkly things that come on like bottles or food,
uh-huh.
or those little plastic tabs that come on bread sometimes she would go nuts over, like
Okay.
stuff like that, where like
Yeah.
there's no reason I would ever keep that. Like it's meant to be taken off and put in the trash. And that's what she started going crazy about. And so then it started to ripple out where I was calling her trash cat. And so then like technically it's recycling because when I get packages, I would be recycling that. But like,
Yeah.
it's not, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have thought to
It's
keep it
yeah.
if it wasn't for her. So and
Yeah.
I have a trash pile right now. I got this package that had a bunch of wadded paper in it. It's a lot. It's like a ream. And so
Mhm.
I unspooled it and like created like this like paper nest in the corner of the room. It's the best thing ever. She leaps into it and then she's again scrabbles around in there and then leaps out and runs across the apartment and then goes back and does it again. I caught
That's so
her
good.
bringing one of Ford's toys in there. He has this like little
Oh.
squirrel and she carries the little squirrel and throws it in there and then like gets all excited. Her trash pile for a trash cat.
Free toys. Free toys. Listen, we've got like milk rings from like a
Mm,
milk jug that we've had other people give to us. And I had the idea, what if I put the milk ring on the end of the wand toy? Like instead of a toy, I put the milk ring on there. The best
okay, I'm gonna try
toy
that
ever.
because Ingrid cannot be fucked with a wand toy, and I think it's maybe because there's not trash at the end. All right, milk ring, got
Just
it.
put trash on it. That's so
Ingrid, we're
good.
gonna have so much fun later.
Oh my
I have to
God.
wait for delivery today, so I have a couple hours to kill where I can't leave my house. Not that I'd want to, because the snow's really starting to come down now. So I wouldn't want to go anywhere anyway, so we might as well play with trash, right, Ingrid?
Might as well play with trash. It's trash. Did you watch Abbott Elementary?
No.
Oh my God, the janitor character in that show. P.S. Just it's the best fucking show ever. So the janitor character says like he has this line and he says like it's trash. Like he calls all of this stuff trash. And so we say that a lot.
I
So that just
love
made
how
me
your
think
face moves
it's
when you
trash.
say it. Yeah, I do think that's going to become one of my vocal stems. Thank you. Haven't even seen it. Will be quoting it.
You're welcome. I'm sure I'll find like a clip of it
Thank
so
you,
you have the context.
Bridget. There is
Yeah.
the happiest snow puppy I have ever seen.
Oh.
Like it is really coming down out there. It's just like kind of like a white mist. And there's this corgi shaped puppy. I can't tell if it's corgi, but it's like corgi shaped. Like
Uh-huh.
actually like bounding across the
Oh.
sidewalk in the snow. Oh, no, he didn't want to go that way. Ah! So the lady walking him tried to make him turn and he didn't want to. He wanted to keep on bounding. And so he just put all his limbs out and did a big sploot. He is a corgi. I saw his butt. And then she was like pulling him and he just like snow angeled across the snow
That's so good. Can you
before he
imagine
popped back
like
up and started bounding again.
I want to live my life with in that mode.
Bridget, he's having the best time.
Uh,
I have never felt that good in the snow and I want to.
mhm.
He has a little parka. He has a fur-lined hood parka on. I love that dog. How sweet. Oh,
That is sweet. And you know what's wild? Like that dog and that person will never know how much the other people get joy from the, like
I had that thought actually earlier today because when I was running errands, there was this guy wrangling 3 dogs of the most ridiculous sizes. One was like a big fluffy poodle mix something or other, like almost up to the guy's hip, and he's a full grown guy.
Mhm.
And then a dog that was slightly smaller than that, short haired, and then a tiny little Yorkie, this like teacup size. And he was
Uh-huh.
walking them all at the same time. They're all going in different directions. Like trying to like step over the Yorkie and like guide the bigger dog, and then the other dog's just excited. And I laughed for 5 minutes like as I drove away. Like it was just the most silly, like normally when I see people walking multiple dogs, they're all similar shapes and sizes. Not this guy. Could
Uh-huh.
not be bothered. All different colors, shapes, hair types, and sizes.
Do you think that they were his dogs or like he was walking them?
That's kind of what I was laughing so hard. My head canon said that they all lived together because that was funnier
Uh,
to me. But I do
mhm.
kind of feel like maybe dog walker vibes because,
Yeah.
like I said, normally when I see people walking multiple dogs that are all theirs, they tend to get similar shapes and sizes, I've noticed. But I love a blended family, so I'm very into the idea of having that many different shapes. And to think that they're all related. Common
Mhm.
ancestor. Hilarious.
Mhm. Mhm. I just picture like the at-home dynamics,
Right?
or if they like are they like snugging up together, like the big one and the tiny one.
I mean, everyone seemed like they were having a nice time together. It was just no one could agree who should be going where and how. But they all looked real happy,
Yeah.
like comfortable with each other, which is why I wanted to lean into their roommates.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when I used to walk dogs, that was a very, very, very big German Shepherd, and then like a mid-size, I was gonna like a mid-size sedan, like a medium size. What am I trying to say? Like a medium size kind of like mixed um dog. But yeah, we went where that German Shepherd wanted to go.
Right. Everyone had to follow that guy's lead. Shepherds are like that, though. They know better than everybody.
Yeah. So I get it.
You know what? Okay. I'm wondering if that's kind of okay. So be led by the path before you was the card I pulled.
Hmm.
And if I'm thinking about cats and dogs and other beasties, they're not really stressing out about the destination, are they? Usually. Like they're in the moment.
Yeah, no, they're purely in the moment because I'm thinking about like walking those dogs, and when there was like so many geese around the little pond that we used
Oh,
to go towards or
very
go
exciting.
around. Yeah, but like he wanted to eat the goose poop, and so I had to try to convince him otherwise.
Good
So
luck.
like, yeah, no, he wasn't concerned about going on our walk and our route or whatever. He was only concerned with the moment in front of him, you know?
Oh, if we could only enjoy the goose poop along the way.
I do have what I think is an interesting goose poop observation.
Uh-huh.
Just because there's so many fucking geese around my
Mhm.
house and the neighborhood and going on walks and just encountering it like all over the sidewalks and everything and in the yards. And as far as I have observed, it doesn't smell.
Mm.
Like, like if a dog poops there, it like that smells. Like or some other animal out there, it smells. But this goose poop is everywhere. It doesn't smell like anything. And it like over the course of what, a few days, a week, I don't know how long, it just, like, breaks down to what looks like a little clump of, like, dusty grass, and then it just, like, disintegrates and it's gone.
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Isn't that cool as fuck?" But, like, it just, like, disintegrates back to, like, grass or whatever it
Mhm.
is, and then it's gone, like, and I guess in my head too, like, there's a ton of people around here, like, complaining about it, which yeah, it kinda sucks that it's there, but also I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't know, it's nature, and in the span of, like, not that much time, it just disintegrates and turns back into the earth."
Yeah, and when we
Like,
put it in the context of people complaining about it, it's like, I wonder what the geese would have to say about all the fucking houses and parking lots
that's what
and
I'm
cars and
saying.
like of
When the geese are here and they're trying to cross, South Avenue, a
Oh, yeah.
4 lane with a turning lane and another turning lane, like, and, people are just, like, stopped and, like, laying on their horns, and I'm like, "We did this.
Yeah. We built this here.
This was their house.
They
We
were
did
yeah,
this."
they're just trying to find some water and get cozy. They're just
Yeah,
trying to rest.
yeah. It's not their fault, it's ours.
There's this really cool documentary on Netflix called I think it's just called Earth at Night. I'm pretty sure it's very
Mm.
straightforward like that. And each episode is talking about different um, habitats at night. And they have these really cool night vision cameras. So you get to like see animals you wouldn't normally get to see what they're up to because they hang out in the dark. And one of the later episodes is animals at night in the city. And it goes like to
Oh.
different cities like around the globe and with those cameras looks at like how animals have adapted to city life. And one of the coolest ones that I just hadn't considered were elephants going into the city at night to forage. And then like cuz like they're not normally nocturnal but they learned that it's quiet and less busy at night. So the matriarch will lead her whole herd into the city and there's just elephants walking down Main Street and eating everybody's plants and then fucking off before morning comes because they know that it gets busy then. What a delight.
Wow.
And there was another one where they followed, I can't remember what kind of cat. I want to say a puma, but I'm not sure. Maybe a bobcat, not sure. But a bobcat like coming down from the mountain at night and going into the city to like snag chickens and like fuck right off. And I'm just like, this is incredible. Like nature is just like, look, we don't care about your walls and your roads and your shit. Like we got to live.
Uh-huh.
I love it so much. And I think the
Life
elephant
finds a
one
way. Sorry.
no. Not the covering your mouth. You're so sweet. Well, to your point, I think the elephant one is they were doing that because someone built a road right across one of their like migration paths. Like there's like a common
Mm.
path that they would take every year ancestrally. And someone didn't care and built a whole thing there. And they're like, well, we don't care either. We're going to come through here. We'll figure out when's the best time, but we're going to do it. Like we have things to do. We have babies to make and breed
Uh-huh.
and raise.
Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah, animals are really cool and adaptable. I don't love that for them, but it's also very cool to think about.
Yeah, same.
But it also, you know why? Because it feels like a rebel archetype where it's like, I don't
Hmm.
care about your structures. I don't care about the way you thought this was going to go. And they just like figure out how to make it work for them. And they're just like, I'm just going to do it my way. I stay
Mhm.
up late at night now and I eat your trees. What are you going to do about it? Absolutely nothing.